Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Once again, I welcome all my dear students of class 8 to the biology online class. You all are not at all viewing the daily videos and not doing your regular work that has been allotted to you. It's a request, class 8. Please attend your classes regularly, watch the videos which are posted regularly, and the assignments that are given along with any of them. You should do them, attempt them, because it will be just fruitful for you and no one else. So in my last lecture I was talking about the movement of water molecules. Let's quickly revise what all we had done in the last lecture. I had told you about the absorption of water and minerals by root hair. What are the various adaptation of the root hair that help in the absorption of water? That is, they have numerous tiny pores which are present all over the membrane of root hair, and they provide a large surface area that allows more absorption of water. The cell sap of root hair, that is the fluid that is present inside the root hair, is more concentrated than the surrounding soil water, and so it effectively absorbs the water from the soil. The cell wall of root hair is freely permeable, that is, it allows the substances to pass through and freely, and the cell membrane that is there is semi-permeable, that allows only selective molecules to pass through. So in this context I was telling you about how the water molecules pass through the root. So I told you about the process of diffusion and osmosis, and that is, diffusion is the movement of molecules from a region of higher concentration to a region of lower concentration until an equilibrium is reached, and this is a process through which water enters the root hair through the cell wall. And osmosis is the movement of water molecule from the region of higher concentration to a region of lower concentration through a semi-permeable membrane. So this is how water enters the root cells from the soil through the process of osmosis, and the concentration of water and minerals is same in all the root hair. Is that clear? That is, it is the same in all the root hair. So when water enters the root hair, its concentration increases as compared to the adjacent cortex cells of the root. Is that clear? So you can see over here the water entering from the root hair from the soil and then entering the cortex of the root, and then water passes through the root hair cells further to the cortex, and then the endodermis. You can see here the endodermis, and then the pericycle, and finally reaches the xylem tissue through the osmosis. So this is the xylem tissue to which the water reaches. Now this xylem water is transported through the upwards to the stem, leaves and branches through the xylem. You can see how the water is transported. This is the transverse section of leaf, which I had explained in my last lecture. So this upward movement of water and minerals in a plant through the xylem is called the ascent of sap. So this is ascent of sap, means in the upward direction water moves from the roots to the aerial part of the plant through xylem. Is that clear? This is known as the ascent of sap. Now there is an activity, Act 2 on page number 12, that is to study how water reaches xylem vessels of the roots from the soil. So here materials that are required: large raw potatoes, a knife, sugar solution, a pin, a petri dish and water. So here we are using 2 potatoes in this experiment. Is that clear? And then what do? These are the things that are required. What is the procedure? That is, we take 2 large size potatoes, and then what do? Peel off the skin, and then we the base is flat, and fill the potato marked A with sugar solution. You can see this, and what do? Fill B with plain water to serve as control. That is not given in your book. Exactly, just to compare the two. Set each in different beakers and have filled with water, mark as A and B. Mark the initial level solution, water in the cavity in both, that is what is the initial level, by inserting the pins, and leave them undisturbed for 2 to 3 hours. After 2 to 3 hours, what happens? The level of the cavity A, that is the solution in the cavity A, rises. In the control experiment, there is no change in water, that is in B there is no change. Inference is what? What do we say? We can say that a water molecule have moved across the semi-permeable cell membrane into the cavity, and hence the water level rises. So this is what I have told, that is the walls of potato are made of tiny cells which are joined together, and the water from the petri dish move from cell to cell in the potato wall and reaches the deep cavity in the center of the potato piece. So this causes an increase in the level of sugar solution inside the cavity of the potato. So this is the way in which water also reaches the xylem vessels of the root from the soil through the root hair. Is it clear? So the root hair absorbs water and minerals from the soil through diffusion, isn't it? And the water molecules enter the root hair cells by osmosis. Absorption that is taking place the root is through the process of diffusion, and then it reaches the different root hair cells by osmosis, because the concentration of water is higher in the soil as compared to the root hair cells. Now next is that is unlike water, the concentration of mineral is more in the root hair cell than in the water, because when we compare soil and water with respect to water concentration, the water concentration is more outside the root, that is outside the plant, in the soil than in the root hair cell. So there the process of diffusion and osmosis is there, that is the movement will be from higher concentration to lower concentration. But here the concentration of minerals is more in the root hair cell, it is more in the root hair cell than in the soil. So they need to be absorbed from the lower concentration, that is from the soil into the root hair. Is that clear? So this is happening against a concentration gradient. So this movement needs energy. Already somewhere the concentration is high, more of it has to be absorbed. So for that more energy is needed. Whereas I told you that diffusion is a passive process, there is no energy involvement over there, no energy is needed for diffusion and osmosis. Here energy is needed for active transpiration. So the movement of particle from a region of low concentration to a region of higher concentration by utilizing energy is called as active transport. That is, active transport means energy is used. Hence active transport occurs against the concentration gradient. This I have told you. If it is from high to low, this is the towards the concentration gradient, but if it is from low to high, it will be against the concentration gradient. Is it clear? Now the minerals dissolved in water are transported in the solution form, and when the concentration of mineral is in soil is higher than that in the cells of root hair, then enter the root hair cells through diffusion. Here also, if the concentration of minerals becomes low in the root hair cell with respect to the soil, then the concentration gradient will be from, again it will be from the soil to the root hair, and the process will change. It will not be through active transport, it will be through diffusion. That means when the concentration is more inside the root hair cell and outside it is less, it will be using the process of active transport. And when the concentration of minerals is high in the soil with respect to the root hair cells, then the process that will be used for absorption of minerals by the roots, it will be diffusion. Is it clear? It will be diffusion, which we have discussed earlier. That is the movement of molecules from a region of higher concentration to a region of lower concentration until an equilibrium is reached. Is that clear? And let's do the exercise on page number 13. Please follow your books because the image that I have made is quite blurred. So plants absorb water through their leaves, stems, roots or branches. It is through, yes, through the roots. Then root hair are blank of the roots. They are the fine outgrowths of epidermal cells, thick outgrowths of epidermal cells, fine outgrowths of the phloem or fine outgrowths of the xylem. They are fine outgrowths of the epidermal cells. Is that clear? Then which of the following features of root hair does not help in the absorption of water? It is, yes, presence of cytoplasm, freely permeable cell membrane and semi-permeable cell membrane. Then presence of numerous tiny pores on the membrane of root hair or presence of cytoplasm. It is the presence of cytoplasm. Then the movement of molecule from a region of higher concentration to a region of lower concentration until an equilibrium is reached is called as diffusion. A movement of water molecules from the region of higher water concentration to a region of lower water concentration through a semi-permeable membrane is called as osmosis. Now fill in the blanks. The upward movement of water and minerals in plants through the xylem is called ascent of sap. Is that clear? And the concentration of minerals is blank in the root hair cell than in the soil. Yes, minerals is more in the root hair cell than in the soil. It is more. Is that clear? Next is the movement of particle from a region of higher concentration to a region of lower concentration. No, that is from a region from a lower concentration to a region of higher concentration by utilizing energy is called as active transport. Next is transpiration. Now we all know that whatever water that is being absorbed through the roots, there is no specific time or duration for it. It is a continuous process. The roots keep on absorbing the water depending on the concentration of the water molecule inside the roots. So the water goes to all the parts of the plant, and the plants utilize and retain only a small amount of water because they use it for the process of photosynthesis. Is that clear? So this water is utilized for photosynthesis, but some amount of water is stored in certain parts, in leaves, stems or so, and so the remaining water evaporates into the atmosphere through the stomata of the leaves. Is that clear? That is the pores present on the epidermis of the leaves. So this process is called as transpiration. So the loss of water from plants mainly through leaves as water vapor is called as transpiration, and this transpiration helps in the ascent of sap. Is it clear? So, and due to this transpiration or transpirational pull, the concentration of water in the cells of leaves decreases, and if something decreases, then it demands for more. So what will it do? As a result, what will happen? Water from the neighboring xylem vessel enters the leaf cells. So they enter the leaf cells once the concentration of water in the cells of leaves decreases. So the loss of water from a leaf creates a suction force. It creates a suction force, and this does what? Water from the cell below that rises upwards. Is that clear? That is when the concentration of water in the cells of leaf decreases. In the cells, the concentration becomes less. Then what will happen? Water from the neighboring xylem vessel, they enter the leaf cells. Is that clear? Neighboring xylem vessels, the water will enter. And what will it they do? The loss of water from a leaf creates a suction force, something which will suck, pull upwards, something upwards. Is that clear? As you suck the cold drink from the straw, that is the suction force that is there, through which water is or cold drink is coming in the straw and it is entering your mouth. As a result, what happens? Water from the cells below that rises upwards. So this pulls the water upwards from the roots in great heights to great heights in all tall trees. So water molecules are pulled up because of the tendency of cohesion, that is sticking with each other. So this is sticking of the water molecules with each other is known as cohesion, and this is what pulls the water upwards. So the suction pull produced in xylem vessel by transpiration is similar to the one produced while drinking milkshake using a straw. Is that clear? Once the whatever drink is inside your liquid inside your mouth and has gone through the food pipe, the mouth becomes empty and keep on sipping more and more. Similarly here also, when the concentration of water in the cells of leaves decreases, you can see over here the cells of leaves, when the concentration decreases over here, the water from the neighboring xylem vessel enter the leaf cells. Is it clear? They enter the leaf cells, and the loss of water from leaf creates a suction force, something that will pull things upwards. As a result, water from the cell below that rises upwards, and this pulls the water upwards from the roots to the great heights in tall trees. You can see. So water molecules are pulled up because of the tendency of cohesion, that is sticking with each other. Water molecules stick with each other and they form a continuous column. One water droplet pulling the other and it forms a continuous column. Is that clear? Apart from this, there is one more thing, that is root pressure. Now due to the continuous inflow of water, pressure develops in the roots. Is that clear? There is a continuous flow of water in the whole plant, so there is a pressure which develops in the root, and this is called as root pressure, and it helps in the upward conduction of water, that is in the ascent of sap up to a certain height. So this root pressure helps in the upward conduction of water to a certain height. So we can say that both transpiration and absorption of water by root hair are interdependent. More the transpiration, more will be the absorption. Is that clear? So this water rises in the xylem by capillary force. What is capillary force? Just we know that xylem tissues are narrower in diameter and act like capillary tube. So capillary force act upon them. Very thin tubes, columns like this. So when water rises, it rises, all the water droplets stick to one another and they keep on rising in these thin columns of xylem. So xylem tissues are acting as a capillary tube. Is that clear? So this water rises in the xylem by the capillary force, and when the loss of water through transpiration is more than the absorption of water by root hair, the plant cells start losing water. So we will continue with this in the next session. Allah Hafiz.